Well, good day to everyone. Simon Bliss here, Chair at Team, and this is another one of our fireside chats. And I've got with us today Anthony McCormack, Managing Director of MacStaff down in Bristol. Anthony is a solo recruiter, but I'm not going to do any more presentations of that. We've worked together for a couple of years now, and you really support the solo recruiters because you head up that division, which is probably the biggest division we have within Team. And I think you've got an interesting story about how you founded MacStaff and quite a long history in recruitment before that. So Anthony, far away, tell us how you got into recruitment and how you started MacStaff.
Yeah, good to see you again, Simon. Thanks for inviting me. Hello, and thanks for watching. I was saying as well, like we normally get scotch with a fireside chat, don't we? But apparently we've got to wait an hour. Yeah, I'm MD of MacStaff. That's my kind of owner-operator recruitment company, and I did the same as a lot of team members, I think, in that I kind of took the plunge and set up on my own about 7 years ago. I've got a high street agency or a specialist recruitment agency background with Hayes. So I'd been with them for 12 years before MacStaff, which is now, and time flies, now 7 years old. A lot of that time, I've been a team member as well. I kind of bumped into the team guys at the booth at Rec Expo Birmingham, and the rest is history, really.
Cool. And one of the things that I was keen to get you on board with this discussion was you've made the team community some of your best clients, haven't they? You're one of the great supporters of the job share, and I think it'd be useful to talk to us about how you developed your community, how you started supporting other members with their jobs and vice versa, and what sort of revenue that's generated for you over the years.
Yeah, 100%. It's been a major part of my business, and from helping get me started more quickly through to having multiple kind of repeat team partner clients that have made actually over 100K last year, because it just went crazy, which is great. But it had been routinely like 50 grand a year in team splits for MacStaff before that as well, which is basically like one deal of 3 or 4K per month, which certainly, it's always a good icing on the cake. In terms of team exchange, yeah, I mean, team membership pays for itself easily anyway with the discounts that you've got with job boards and other vendors, your kind of free legal advice, document libraries, training and development, all that jazz. But I think the big upside is in the split fee deals, isn't it? Because there's no kind of ceiling to that, and I'm kind of stingy, I think. I like getting my money's worth, and I've kind of really gone all in to get that revenue, basically.
That's grand. But have you got any tips or guidance for people who are coming into team? How do you start to build those relationships with other members, either to support them with the jobs that they've got live, and this year there's going to be loads of live jobs. We'll come on to that a bit later, and it's still a candidate short market. So how did you develop that relationship? Because you really sort of hit the ground running, didn't you, fairly quickly with that?
Yeah, and I had nothing to lose realistically. I was only 6 months into my own company. I'd only come back to the UK from Canada like a year previously, so I hadn't got a big book of business or a Rolodex or anything like that. So I felt slightly weird about the whole going into a room kind of talking about business with other recruiters and everything like that. So I kind of still empathize with that, but I went all in because it was a good opportunity. And you kind of go the same journey as with any kind of clients or business development, don't you? You need to kind of be known, be liked, be trusted before people will necessarily partner with you. And I got busy and was active on all the events, so attending the with the solos didn't exist for a start, did it? But I run that now. There was the kind of the regional meetings, like with this for the Southwest for me, the engineering group meetings, which Ruth still runs, obviously, you know, for the specialty. Attending team conference, networking with members just at every opportunity, really, and just to be curious, seek to add value, you know, understand, you know, who's running what businesses in what sectors and with what clients, and you know, what kind of candidates are they interested in, and just took it from there, really. When I got trusted with you know, filling jobs, I made sure that I kept my promises, did what I was supposed to, and that's just led to the next job, etc. Because there's two sides of the deal, isn't there, as well? The job side and the candidate side, and I've certainly done both, sharing jobs and candidates. But my story really is that as the sourcing guy, that's you know, been where I've added the most value, I think, in team.
I think I'll come on to that again for this year, but and I know you did quite a bit of work. You supported John Doherty with some of his RPO model work that he did with one client.
It's a good one.
Is there a space that you have a real strength in terms of sector, because other members might gravitate to that when they see this video? You see that, especially new guys and girls in a particular sector.
And that would be good advice to people building their network as well, to your previous question, in that you know, don't try and be all things to all people, or you know, just try and get hold of any job or candidate opportunity, but yeah, really leverage your own expertise, do something different to you know, the partner can necessarily do for themselves. I'm like, you know, is there a particular area? It's like yes and no. I've got like a spread bet on a niche, really, and that myself and MacStaff focus on construction, engineering and manufacturing, you know, as a professional, skilled and technical type umbrella. So with the ATP mini RPO example, that was actually aerospace, but I've successfully filled in pharma, lots of construction, and you know, general manufacturing as well.
Yeah, I guess your Hayes background helped with that slightly multi-sector view.
Yeah, and I've done different technical recruitment in manufacturing and logistics, construction and property, and latterly IT as well for Hayes. So yeah, it's a real professional company. I worked with them in Birmingham, out in Canada, in Toronto, and
cool.
Back to the UK, to Bristol, before setting up on my own.
With
the mini RPO example, that's a really good example of how team can work as well, in that you know, a team partner wins, you know, a great client or more business than they can possibly service, and then they're kind of outsourcing you know, some of the candidate generation, or perhaps the areas that they're not experts in themselves, you know, to basically fill more jobs than they would be able to otherwise, and here's me now placing more candidates than I would be able to otherwise. So it's a total win-win.
Yeah, that is a good story, and I've invited John Doherty from ATP to join me on one of those sessions, and I've got Patrick from Ellis Knight, who's developed a really significant RPO business up in Oxford, to join us as well, and he's B Corp as well. So he's taken two, you know, strategic journeys, A, one quality, and B, wrapping around a proper RPO product. Well, for an SME is a real challenge, but he's done it really successfui.
Yeah,
so
and team, obviously a membership organisation, isn't it? That's another major benefit to, you know, an individual member like myself, in that you do get to network with, work with, and raise your game, basically, by working alongside other kind of extremely experienced recruitment professionals, and quite major business owners. So it's a good peer group and network to be involved in.
Yeah, I met with an SP, a service provider, yesterday for a coffee down in Chichester, and you always learn something from people that have been in the market for some time. And I came away from that meeting thinking, I've learned 2 new things today that will make team better and some of its members better for next year. So it is that networking don't underestimate it, because the power of it is fantastic. You know,
Yeah, keep your eyes on
because
ears,
people are
definitely.
the one thing we've been able to do, and not me really. I'm just taking over the reins like a relay race, but Simon Garbett and the previous team, Jackie as well, of course, created this umbrella of trust, and that makes it so easy to network. We're going to move on to 2023. I know you had a great year in 22, and congratulations to that for all the good work you did
thanks.
on your own and with other members. How do you see how are you seeing the market for 23? Are you optimistic, bit reserved, pessimistic? What's your thoughts?
Like slightly reserved in that I think there'll be a softening of the market, but I'm also, you know, on the same kind of messages, like say James Osborne, who you know, says that you make your own luck, don't you, an opportunity. So, you know, I intend to get a bigger slice of the of a smaller cake, I guess, as MacStaff in 2023. I try and not listen too much to the macro picture, because you know, there's 40,000 recruitment companies in the UK, isn't there? You know, the impact of my own little minnow is going to be kind of a nondescript thing, really. So
you've only got to win 3 more clients.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, you know, I mean, it's small picture for me, I suppose, but I just need to focus on filling, you know, 2, ideally 3 or 4 positions a month, and I'm good as a solo. But I think that there's going to be difficulties with the market that are still not played out fully from the inflation stuff, really, and there will probably be some redundancies, some, you know, business closures, and some further problems, basically. But just got to batten down the hatches and get out the other side, hopefully, like in a better situation than when we go in. Like, so, you know, just take the opportunity to, you know, change and improve your business, like develop yourself and become more agile is my plan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a weird recession. We are still desperate for top talent. You know, the UK market's still got 1 million jobs live, so the sourcing that talent is going to be really tough. So actually, it may play into your hands as the resourcing guy within team, because there will be jobs at lots of different levels throughout the network, which people simply won't be able to find candidates for, and that I think may play into your hands. I think you could have a great year supporting other members.
Yeah, I do plan to. Yeah, Neil Carberry says that it's a different recession this time to the global financial crisis, doesn't he, 2009, and that it is underpinned by a skills shortage. There's no dead wood to cut, is there, at companies? And I'm on board with Greg Savage as well, in that you know, being in a it's easy to find jobs and hard to find candidates universe, like, is way better than the other side, where it's easy, where it's hard to find jobs and easy to find candidates. So good recruiters like myself and all team members will certainly be in demand in 23, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned Greg. I get some news that I can push out there. Is had an email from him last night. He's coming over to the UK in March. He's going to Rec Expo, which is brilliant. We're going to meet him there.
Wow.
And he's going to do a team webinar with me, talking about the market and how to take advantage of 2023. So really looking forward to seeing him over in the UK. I caught up with him in Oz when I was there last year.
That's so good.
Yeah, he's a great guy to follow and always optimistic. And one of his businesses he chairs has just joined team. They've just opened a London office, and I think they joined with Lauren last week, People to People. So watch out for them.
He's involved with Job Adder as well, isn't he? And I do recommend his book to people as well, like The Savage Truth. Maybe he'll do as a deal, you know, at team events, but it's a generous gift to the recruitment industry for sure.
I just wonder if I've got The Savage. Here we go. Oh, look.
I got it behind me somewhere, but
here we go.
Don't want to see it. I've got my pajamas on from the waist down. That's the one, yeah.
I've got my personalised I've got my personalised best wishes from Greg. That was an expensive book to buy, given that I flew over to Australia to get it. But there we go. It would have been cheaper from Amazon. Well, Anthony, any final thoughts about any advice to some of your solos who we've got a meeting coming up with the solos, which would be great, and we've got quite a few new members joining. Any messages for them?
Our guest is Steve Guest as well, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. And so any messages for some of your new solos to get involved with Team Exchange or some of the other meetings we've got? Any tips and guidance for them?
It's just be open-minded, be curious, get involved, isn't it? I'd say that's solo team members, but also the larger recruitment community. It's the market and the technology and obviously the whole situation is really dynamic at the moment, isn't it? So trying to operate in a silo, or as a lone wolf, that's too hard, isn't it? Be active in your networks, like pick up the phone, solve problems between you, split business, just collaborate, and enjoy the situation and your team members as well. I had thought of a book, and I mentioned it at the NEC presentation, didn't it? Called Co-opetition. And that's kind of really resonated with me in that, you can collaborate on one hand, you can compete on the other, but there's some, the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, sort of thing. So always look for opportunities to partner and add value as part of your kind of value net. You're not going to be able to achieve anything, certainly as an individual, but even as a one recruitment company sometimes. So keep your eyes and ears open and make the best of your networks.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for that, Anthony. And have another great year. I think you hit 6 figures with job sharing last year. Just smash it again. That would be fabulous. And I'll see you.
Got a new tool, haven't we? Irwin system, which will fast track people's experience with Team Exchange as well. So get your candidates and jobs on there, and matches might just kind of present themselves to you. We can all make more money.
Well, thank you for that plug, and I should have pushed it myself. So well done, and look forward to seeing you soon on a Zoom.